someone adopted both of Justine's younger brothers, but not Justine herself. They thought she would be too difficult. Tracy hates worms. So, do you know what Justine said? Then I dare her to eat too. Justine dared Tracy to go out in the garden completely naked. Hey guys! I am Charlotte the Starlet. These are my girls, Angel and Greta. And this is my little boy Seth. Today we're going to be reacting to the story of Tracy Beaker by Jacqueline Wilson. But since I am a mystery / thriller writer, this ain't no typical reaction. The way I do it is simple. If I like something, I add a point starting from last video's total, and if I don't, I take one off. Right, let's jump in. Cam ends her questioning by telling Louise, "Draw me what you think your mum and your nan look like as angels." Cam, you do realize that that question and all the questions you've asked Louise have the potential to make her cry, considering that her mum and nan are actually dead. Justine snatches Tracy's life book from her, which is a bit of a violation considering that Justine would have literally had to put her hand up Tracy's shirt to get it. Oh, it doesn't say what Tracy did, but whatever it was violent enough to make Justine's nose spout blood. Okay, we just got past the bit where Tracy got in trouble for being violent towards her worst enemy in the house, Justine, right in front of the writer that's visiting the care home. Oh, I forgot to say at the start, this story is about the life of a girl who lives in a care home, okay? She does have parents, they just don't really want her anymore. Anyway, now Tracy is out of the quiet room, which is equivalent to like the naughty step for babies, and she's in her bed now. She's been busy writing this very book in her bed. She says she's been writing so much that she's got a bump on one of her fingers. Bruh, that was me when I was little. I don't do nearly as much physical writing these days, but I do still do it on my computer. The next morning at breakfast, Tracy takes delight in seeing that Justine has a swollen nose because of her, and a plaster over it. Damn. Tracy thinks her swollen nose suits her to match her swollen head. Then she says she really doesn't know what her old friend Louise sees in Justine. Oh wow, typical. Tracy's like, if I were Louise, I'd choose to be Tracy Beaker's best friend. Oh, apparently, Tracy was actually the first one who tried to be friends with Justine when she first turned up at the care home. Oh snap, damn. So the reason Justine was put in the care home was because her mum had chosen to clear off with this new guy, and she left Justine's dad, Justine, and her two little brothers. So it was up to their dad to look after them, except that he wasn't really capable of looking after them properly. So she got taken into care, and I'm assuming her younger brothers did as well. Oh, damn. So her brothers did get put into foster care, except it was only short term because of how young they were. Like, they were practically still babies, so they weren't that difficult to look after, you know. They didn't fuss or throw tantrums or stuff like that. And so what happened was that someone adopted both of Justine's younger brothers, but not Justine herself. It literally says Justine wasn't taken either because they thought she would be too difficult to look after. Ooh, okay. Tracy says that normally she likes kids who are difficult to look after. Like, she likes to be friends with those kind of kids. And at the beginning, she liked the look of Justine because after her first night at the care home, at first she was all sad and down, but then she found her voice and started kind of mouthing off at everyone. She was full on cussing people out. She even knew more curse words than Tracy, which is saying a lot. Justine was like that all week, but at the end of the week on Sunday, she shut up. And she only shut up because her dad was supposed to be coming to visit her. So she chose to behave. Justine sat and waited all morning for her dad, who was supposed to turn up at 11 o'clock. But 11 came and went, so did 12, so did 1, 2, 3, and the whole rest of the day. Her dad never turned up. Justine didn't eat the entire day. She just sat at the window, not talking to anyone. Tracy said her tummy felt tight whenever she looked over at Justine, because she knows what it's like. There have been many occasions where Tracy's mom was supposed to turn up, but never did. Man, Tracy used to do the exact same thing as Justine. She used to sit at that same window when her mum didn't turn up. Aww. This gets Tracy thinking about her own mum again. She says she doesn't sit at the window waiting for her anymore because she kind of knows better now. And she's doing that thing again where she essentially lies to herself to cope. She tells herself that her mum probably hasn't come because she's too far to come, and that she must be on holiday somewhere in France or Spain or America. She might even be in Hollywood. Tracy has told herself so many of these lies that she fully believes that her mum is a famous actress who's always jet-setting across the world doing all sorts of stuff like making movies, and that's the reason she's not seen Tracy in years, which is so sad. Honestly, I can't even imagine what that must be like. Aww. Even though Tracy says she doesn't sit around waiting for her mum to turn up anymore, she says that whenever there's a knock at the door, she still gets tingles. You know, she still gets excited, and part of her hopes that it could be her mum. So, when Justine was all sad sitting at the window, Tracy says she didn't try to talk to her or anything, but she kind of shuffled past her and accidentally dropped a lollipop in front of her to make her feel better. Oh, it wasn't like it was her lollipop though. She says that she'd stolen some from Wayne, which is another young kid at the care home. Oh, damn. It says that Wayne's dopey mum is younger than Adele, who's a kid at the care home who is like 16 years old. Apparently, Wayne's mum doesn't know the first thing about babies, which is why he's ended up at the care home. Again, that is so sad. Oh, is that right, Tracy? Tracy's like, it's actually a good thing I stole Wayne's lollipops because they've got sticks, right? I don't want him poking his eye out. Honestly, again, lying to herself, giving herself an excuse to steal his lollipop, even though they came from his mum. Like, who knows how often his mum visits him. Tracy clearly has very little regard for other kids' belongings. Since we started this book, she's broken Justine's clock, she's stolen Wayne's lollipops, she's stolen Adele's makeup. Clearly, she couldn't care less who those things belong to. After that, Tracy kept an eye on Justine, and even though she didn't touch the lollipop for like half an hour, eventually she took it, but ate it suspiciously, like it was poisoned or something. Oh my days. Tracy legit uses them lollipops like it's money. Because this is still like, during the first couple of weeks Justine came to the care home. But when Louise was still Tracy's friend, she complained to Tracy about how rude Justine is and how much she doesn't like her because she pushed past her when she was going down the stairs and cussed her out instead of saying sorry. And she asked Tracy why she gave Justine a lollipop in the first place, which Tracy just brushed off. Tracy was like, she's not that bad. Besides, I didn't give her the red lollipop. I saved that for you, Louise. Honestly, like Tracy can be such an ass kisser when she wants to be. Anyway, so after Tracy gave Justine that lollipop, they became friends. And that's where the peer pressure started. Because now that she was friends with Justine, Tracy had begun swearing just as bad as her. And it wasn't just Tracy as well. Some of the younger kids who were friends with Tracy, like Max, started copying Tracy's cussing. Then later on, during that kind of honeymoon period, I guess, where Tracy and Justine were friends, Tracy came up with the dare game, in her words. Now, Tracy Beaker had always won every single game. Like, she'd never turned down a dare. She dared Justine to say the rudest word she knew, which she did in front of the local vicar. Then in return, Justine dared Tracy to go out in the garden completely naked, which she did. Now it's Justine's turn again. Tracy dared her to eat a worm, which apparently she did. I remember this in the TV show. This was mad. I fully fell for it when I was younger. Bruh. I remember watching, I had like a DVD of like the Tracy Beaker TV show, and I remember watching it one day with like the kids from next door. We were in each other's houses like every other day. Oh my god, like Tracy and Justine, they were like nice and fun sometimes, but I absolutely hated them at other times. One day after school, they came around my house, and we watched the Tracy Beaker DVD in my room, and when this scene happened, I fell for it. I completely believed it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a pretty naive kid, and I still kind of am. I didn't really have street smarts, but the kids from next door did, or they had more than me at least, and they fully clocked that the scene in the TV show was fake. And so I got teased relentlessly for believing it. Anyway, after Justine ate a worm, she dared Tracy to do the same thing, which Tracy said wasn't fair, because it's like the same dare and everything. Right, so when Justine dared Tracy to eat worms, she was still friends with Louise, who kind of tried to be Tracy's hype man. She told Justine that Tracy hates worms. So, do you know what Justine said? Then I dare her to eat too. Which Tracy did. Kind of. She did eat them, but she vomited them right back up. Justine didn't actually believe that she swallowed them though. She just thinks she put them in her mouth and spat them out. So, to settle this, Tracy tried to come up with a dare where the odds were stacked in her favor. Tracy apparently is really good at skateboarding. Meanwhile, Justine's balance and steering are horrendous. So Tracy made this kind of like skateboarding assault course, and she dared Justine to have a go at it. And she made a fair effort. She fell down a lot, but she kept getting back up. But Tracy tried to disqualify her so that she'd win the game. And I'm assuming this is where Justine and Louise become friends, and Tracy stops being friends with Justine because when Tracy tried to disqualify her, Louise said that Justine should still win the bet if she finishes the course, which she did. Justine actually finished Tracy's course. Then she dared Tracy to climb one of the trees in the garden, which Tracy tried to do, but she was interrupted by one of the care workers, Mike, who got a ladder and made her come back down. Ooh. Justine says that Tracy lost the bet because she didn't get to the very top of the tree, like she told her to. And Louise backed Justine up, which Tracy couldn't believe. Like, to her, that was a complete betrayal. Because Louise had been telling her this whole time she hated Justine. But anyway, at that point, they all had to kind of put a stop to the dare game because Jenny put her foot down. And according to Tracy, you don't argue with her when she says that. Oh my god. There's this little drawing of Tracy and Justine underneath Jenny's foot, which I absolutely love. Like, it's a very literal but still funny interpretation of that metaphor. Anyway, that is where I have to leave it this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give that like button and that notification bell a little kiss, and subscribe to become a Starlet. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram and Tumblr. And if you have read something that has just left you shook beyond repair, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Bye!